No, there's white down there.
Wow.
You know, stop hitting my head on everything.
Room. This is where Florida Caverns got its start. Now in 1937, there was a group of young men ages 18 to 25 working here in the park. They were with a group called the CCC, Civilian Conservation Corps. Now this is a group started by President Roosevelt during the Depression years. It helped a lot of young men. It gave them the opportunity to travel, learn some new job skills, and also do a service for their country as they worked in state parks to put in roads and put in buildings to encourage people to come and visit state parks. Now, when the group was working here in 1937, there was also a group of surveyors here in the park. They were looking at some of the caves that are here in the park and along the river where Native Americans lived. So, one of these surveyors, Mr. Oliver Chalifot, was walking through the woods above us after a really bad storm. He saw that a tree had blown over. Now, it was a large tree, and when it blew over, it pulled it out by the roots. It brought up big chunks of limestone, and it left a small hole. Well, wearing only his little miner's helmet, I'm sure he had pants, but wearing his little miner's helmet, he crawled into that hole. Now, the hole that he crawled through is behind you and up a slope. It is now blocked. It's not a safe way into or out of the caverns. So now it's been blocked. But when Mr. Chalifot crawled down, this is some of what he saw. Now, he thought this was a lot more interesting than a dry, dusty cave. So he told the other surveyors about it. They came and they checked it out. And then they came in with the CCC workers to open it up, see how far back it actually went. The CCC workers had a specialty group called the Gopher Gang. Now, the Gopher Gang were the young men that are of small stature. They could fit into tight little places. So they would most often be the first ones to come in and crawl into the little tight spaces to see what could be opened up and what was behind some of these formations. So when they would go in, of course, they had only their little lights on their miner's helmets, and they would go in. But now when they went off into areas, if their miner's light went out, they'd be in total darkness. One of the things they did to help them was they would tie a rope around this rock, a rope to their belt, go off into the various little passages, and if their light should go out, they could follow the rope back to this rock where they had light coming from the outside. Now, to get all the limestone broken up and carted out of here, they used hammers, chisels, pickaxes, and shovels, and 5-gallon buckets to haul it all out. No power tools were used. So it was a tough job. But for their hard work, they were paid $1 a day. So at the end of 30 days, they'd have $30. But they didn't keep $30. As part of their contract with the Civilian Conservation Corps, $25 was sent back home to their families. This was during the Depression, so if you had $25 a month coming into your house, you were lucky. So these young men did all the hard work of breaking it up and opening it up for us. And they worked from 1937 to 1942. At the start of the next World War, they all had to leave to go and fight in the war. So they stopped work here in 1942, and what we have open for us today is everything they opened up from 1937 to 1942. Some of the changes that have been made since 1942, some steps have been added. Originally, they were kind of carved into the limestone, but since it was soft over time, it wore down. So they have added cement steps in some areas, and they have also